Welcome to the latest edition of Fitter4 Forty. Just been asked online at work about what you're doing each day as part of your activity and as part of your routine. And so, just on this episode, I thought that I'd kind of share where I'm up to with what I'm doing and a whole range of stuff. So, this week I'm going to do the daily workout that I've been sent through from Body Sculpt, and I'll talk through a little bit about, say, a makeup of one of those sessions in a second, supplemented by kind of between 5 and 10k runs. So I might get one or two of them in this week. That's as part of the outdoor activity that you can go and do currently. So we're not on complete full lockdown because you still can do one piece of exercise as it stands in the UK right now. So taking advantage of that where as and when I can. Interestingly, I chose not to do that at the weekend just because of kind of family life routine, but also rest. And actually one of the things that my coach at Body Sculpt, Eugene, said was actually you want to just, you've kind of done quite a lot of activity and ramped up doing daily sessions. You've not been at that point, really concentrate on the rest, and that's something that he did advice on over the weekend. So it was great to kind of have that recovery, but keen to get 2 runs in. Then I've been supplementing it as well by on the activity bike. So in a fortunate position, I've said that on other vlogs, where I've been able to just take some time out. So typically I've done like an hour each time, and it doesn't get easy that because I've kind of done it less often. So it's a reminder and being really focused to kind of work hard in that moment and keep remembering purpose of doing all of this, right? And I've talked a lot about what's your purpose. Well, really uber clear on that right now about physical and mental health as well and well-being. So trying to do that as best that I possibly can. Over the weekend, I was absolutely delighted to reach 2 stone loss in 2020. So really chuffed with that. And it's just give me kind of that additional platform and I guess revisioning about seeing the results of some of this stuff over a 12, 13 week period. So to lose 2 stone is kind of beyond what I expected from the outset, if I'm completely honest. But it's given me a really strong determination over the next 9 months, and as well while we're in lockdown, to make the best of those conditions. And for the first time, I'm declaring kind of where I wanted to get to. I didn't say that at the start, but I've also always been uber clear that I want to get to 12 stone 11 in my mind for the full year. That's kind of my target, that's my goal. And the reason that is because that puts me then, for my height and my age, in the healthy zone with BMI. Now, as I've said many times on this vlog, BMI is not the only indicator of health, but it's something that I'm going to work towards getting there. So 2 stone loss within 3 months, and then I'm saying I want to replicate that in 9 months. So well aware of kind of plateau effect and the fact that it's going to get harder and harder, but there's still definitely scope for me to eat more effectively and better, as well as kind of increase some of the intensity of the activity that I'm doing within the next 9 months on the foundation and the bedrock of not drinking alcohol. So if I take myself right back to the beginning of this, I think the fundamental thing is just getting going. And in the past, what I've done is I've set myself too stretching, too harder goals in the first instance. And I didn't do that this time. This was really about, well, the big goal of like 4 stone, 3 pounds, it was mind-boggling. But I really set my attitude around do stuff that you'll try that you've not yet done before. And I've definitely managed to do that. So yoga, I've done... even being on the activity bike so often, never done that before. Supplement it with some running, which I've done, and then free weight bearing routines, never done that before. So again, being really open-minded has all stood me in really good stead, and I hope over the next 9 months really hit that goal. What lockdown is doing is making kind of motivation and all the brilliant stuff that's online, with lots of physical training instructors and lots of people sharing their vision and their story. Now, typically I've done just the conversational bit of that, and as opposed to showing workouts, because there's so many brilliant people using brilliant techniques out there. I don't want to kind of muddy the water to a large degree and show, not perfect technique or whatever. And as well, it's all individual, right? So do what you can would be my simple advice. And it doesn't have to be exercise. I've said that a lot. It could be gardening. It could be housework, kind of an hour of activity doing housework. I know we're doing more and more of that. So all that kind of stuff adds to, what you're eating, dead simply, what your food and drink choices, and what activity you're doing or not doing. And I'm keeping it as simple as that. That is kind of my formula for this. And so far, so good. I'd love to know what you're doing, and post comments, videos. It'd be ace to see. And so, regular guy trying to be a fitter dad, trying to be around longer for my daughter, as I said, and for my wife now. I didn't really know the full severity of what I was saying when we started this off, before kind of COVID-19 became so prominent in the UK. But now having physical health is probably more important than ever, so that you give yourself the best possible chance to respond if you do get a virus. So hopefully that's kind of a byproduct of doing all this, but just loving the process. Going back to what kind of some of the daily activity looks like, it might be anything from lunges, reverse lunges, band work, so doing so not always free weight but using resistance bands if you've got them. They're great as well. Push-ups, as simple as it sounds. I've been doing some narrow push-ups, some I shared on Instagram, and I was dead chuffed because like 3 weeks ago I wasn't able to do them, and just keep persevering and trying, I've been able to do it. So, and it's so difficult, but it's so rewarding when you get there. So keep up the good work, everyone, even if it feels hard. If you're starting out this for the first time, it will get easier. The results will show at some point, and yeah, it's great sense of achievement when you get there and stuff. So keep up the good work. Focus food wise this week is to not eat as much rubbish. So in the first 2 weeks of lockdown, there's definitely my sweets and biscuits intake and crisps actually definitely increased, and I needed just to get a grip of that. So this week I'm really focusing on eating less rubbish. Wasn't planned, but I've actually got an apple on my desk and just made the choice before just coming up to record this to say, well, should I have some crisps or should I look at some cracker bread or whatever? But actually I chose the apple, and I think that just that conscious thing of I had 2 poor weeks food wise, can have a better week this week. And that's not perfect. Not, I'm certainly no nutritionist, but trying to take a few simple steps gradually to improve what we're eating when we're eating it. That's what I'm focusing on. Alright, so 2 stone down this year, as I said, absolutely delighted with that. And thank you so much for everybody, for whether it's messages on Facebook, whether it's messages on Instagram or on Messenger, or even let me know that you're keeping a view on this. Is absolutely phenomenal. What I'm going to do is do a YouTube live in the next day or two, just to get some feedback from people, speak to people and see what and how they're doing, and I'll share some more details of that soon. Alright, cheers guys, stay safe, stay indoors, protect the NHS or your health workers around the world.